Look, I'm just gonna put this. I'm gonna do this, but I'm just gonna. I don't know. Back! Let's hope the network doesn't fall apart again. Found out what it was, by the way. It was my brother trying to connect his. Oddly, it was my brother trying to connect my to my network with his new camera. And it's like, oh, he connected to it, but at a cost. Or at least, it wasn't a cost because he couldn't get the password right. So I guess it was freaked out. It's like, that's how I roll. What were we at with the plot line? What's the matter? It's just leveling up those is all unknown. Oh, pair that entered. 11. We're trying to assure me only. What are you talking about? You know me, don't you? Don't tell me you plan to spend your whole life in this fishbowl. There's a whole world out there to explore. Okay, we're reached up where we were. Says the troll who never left Leria Foseni. Silence, buffoon. You can really say that. Alright, you've convinced me, I'll go. Lend it. Now there are just a few shelves of paperwork to take care of, so I'll need to borrow your guardians for a bit. None of this would have happened if we hadn't met. Would it? I never would have gotten this opportunity or made such a wonderful new friend without you. Thank you. I really mean it. Farewell. And with that, and with that, it's finally done. So yeah. So anyway, that was painstakingly terrible. So there should be no more side quests for a long time. With Lavia also done. Can we finally do the main story, I wonder? It took me about an hour to get back in here. Search for Alizé though. I ran past her too. Oh no. Squeak squeak. But there's something in there. Yeah. Excuse me. Right. Oh, wait. Ronald, what are you doing out here? No, I don't mind if you help with the boxes, but it's far from the most exciting of tasks, are you sure? Well, I appreciate the assistance. We need to get these to Aporia. Time is short, of course, but they're full of organic specimens and samples, so try not to be too rough with them. Alphino should be waiting for us when we arrive. I'll see you there. Cover the crate. You have 3 minutes. For Alphino. Oh. Let's go. Let's go! Okay, for this one, we'll have to... Well, follow the trail. If I'm doing terrible at it. Just a straight line now. Whoops. I ran too far. I wasn't paying attention, to be honest. I looked away for a bit. I was looking at something. Oh, you're helping with the crates? Wonderful, you can put that here. Up there with the others. Oh wait, I gotta pick the... Move to be right back, son. You have my gratitude, but how did you come to be involved in this? Kinda happened. Huh, did I suppose I have Thankford to thank as well? If you're wondering why we're tasked with bringing these boxes to Off-Road to begin with, so was I. It turns out that this is a base of operations of sort. Those with final say as to what is included in the ship's manifest can be found here. Oh no. Rather, Father included, I suspect. That should be everything. You carried all of that at once? Are you trying to injure yourself? Oh hush, they're lighter than they look, and not everyone has your delicate arms. I suppose we should let someone know that we finished. Daryl Paulden is in the courtyard. We can report to him. Why don't you come along? You should get credit for your assistance, at least considering where we are. We might learn something interesting. God, it never ends, does it? What can I do for you? We bought samples from Charlie and Hamlet, Series 110. The crates are by the entrance. Oh, thank you. I expected one of my colleagues, but we're trembling short-handed. Just a moment. You're the Forciant's children, are you not? Alfredo and Alice at your service. You're well acquainted with father, I take it? Wait! I've been friends with your parents since our days at the Studium. I remember when you were yay high, wandering hither and thither. Clearly, it's been quite some time since we met. It's good to see you again, wielding your father's nihilus, no less. You knew our parents when they were young? What were they like? Please spare no detail. I should like nothing more than to regale you, unless I am meant to be in charge here. Some reams of paperwork once for submission. I can help with that in exchange for the stories our parents would never willingly divulge, of course. Very well then. There happens to be 3 sets of documents in need of delivery, so how about you each take one? Excuse me? Right there. No, wait, why are you giving me one? I didn't sign up for this! You'll find a forum representative waiting to collect these near the southernmost structure. I hope I haven't kept her waiting too long. Never mind Applino and Alice, I'm certain they will be back soon enough. Oh. Are you not one of the Science of the Seventh Dawn? I thought you were meant to be working on the ether burner. We are. This paperwork, I was beginning to worry he had misplaced his quill. I appreciate your help in seeing these documents I hand at latest. As for your other tasks, pray keep this between us, but I seriously hope you, Scion, succeed. The Exodus is without a doubt the most monumental undertaking in the history of the Forum, and so we must be circumspect in all respects. Risk is a privilege we cannot afford ourselves. At its heart, however, Charlene has ever been a nation of the curious. It would be tragedy indeed if we were the ones to surmise your pursuit of truth. In other words, she wants us to be able to... If we succeed, she wants us to be able to talk to Highland and probably save the world. Like, to find out what... Pretty much to find the underlying truth of what the heck is truly going on. Quick and efficient. I dare say you have a talent for this work. The twins' papers only needed to be delivered to us at the facility, so they should be returning any moment. You return without a scrap of paperwork remaining on our person. Well, now. You both have my thanks and my apologies for sending you on an errand far below your ambitions. Why, even as a babe, you struggled out of your swaddling clothes, and that is quite enough of that. Like, it was compromising stories of our parents that we'd asked to hear to reliterate. Of course, I've known your father for so long. I must have something. As you know, part of why Lavier's name game garners such respect in Charlene is your family's storied history. You too can trace your ancestry directly to those who came aboard Nonokop's Hope a lineage few can claim. I never thought much of it myself. It's not as though our forebears founded our nation. They were simply there when it happened. Nevertheless, it was traditionally been a point of pride. This is why Corrupt's pronouncement renounced the ways of war and pursue enlightenment through knowledge and reason has ever been our family's creed. Until your grandfather's time, eh? Archon Louis Wald looked not but his deeds. He asserted in defiance of his peers and choosing to save the great and the small from the rising tide was the true mark of our founder's virtue. Perhaps it was his expertise, his knowledge of ancient prophecy and the fall of civilizations that led him to conclude that to ensue conflict at every turn was to consign mankind to his doom. There will ever be conflict, and calamity will follow. Thus, to ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom. It's ignorance. You remember his words well, indeed. Archon Louis Wall lives by his personal creed, used every means at his disposal to bring succor to those in need, Charlian or no. No one loved and admired your grandson more than his son. That Foshra could not reconcile Lurisa's deeds with the philosophy of their forebears and his peers. A philosophy in which he believed so fervently, yet made apparent of agonized over this contradiction for much of his life. A son may carry his father's blood, but his choices are his own to bear. Is it not always thus? Gods know, it's a cranky old goat. So I'm sure you butt heads often enough, yet even so you must know that you are constantly in his thoughts, every moment of every day. That is not an exaggeration in the slightest. You should have seen him when you were born, barely recognizable. He was with a kind of dumbfounded grin. I'd not seen since he took a fancy to your mother. He was practically skipping when he told me the news. Take my word for it, he loves you to an embarrassing degree. But he is also frustratingly single-minded. Once he decided that a given action is for the best, he will not stay the course no matter who or what opposes him. A profoundly annoying habit when you're on the other end of it, as I'm sure you will agree. Yep. I'll say. Thank you for your insight. Next, when we meet our parents, I shall mention that we spoke. Try not to get me into too much trouble now. I need the forum on my side. Speaking of which, I ought to get back to work. Be getting back to work. I have to make sure those specimens you bought make it to their proper places, or the cranky old goat will have my hide. We can speak again later. Jeez. Hell, you three. Hey. Aha, surely Kona had to drive you out of the forge already. For better or for worse. However, he has set me a task that requires more than a single pair of hands, and here you are. Uh-oh. I could use at least one of you, but I won't eject more. Fortunately, Alize and I have prior commitments, and we have delayed too long as it is. How about you, Ronald? Can you spare the time? Nope. Okay, I have to come. Perfect. It shouldn't take long. Rahatia, once forged. In the event that our, and I quote, promised heap of anime falls right out of the bloody sky and into my lap, Master which is to be ready to put the proverbial hammer to anvil at the moment's notice. To fabricate these parts. Fabricate these parts, however, I need the flames to burn hotter. He set me to increase the amount of ether being funneled to the furnaces. The flow of fire aspected ether and lavrios is regulated by the element of rock or alpha here, to which I have barred the key. The adjustment will require two people to carry safely. I can explain the process when we arrive. Part then. We'll see you in Charlie and Hammett once the Animantia arrives, if not before. This way then. Alright, so anyway, maybe I should try to focus more. It's just, it's taking forever. The reactor is housed within this facility. I'll be the one to go inside and adjust the fire aspect of it. When I do, a rather large amount of water aspect ether will issue from the vent at the top. I expect this to attract at least a few elementals, which we would both rather not be drawn into the reactor itself. Trust me. I ask that you put down any that draw too near. They'll pose you little trouble, I'm sure. You always assume that it won't cause me trouble. Wait here if you would. There we go. Okay. Harder. Nice. Oh no! Check that. Oh, it is nowhere. No, we're nowhere near. Everything goes smoothly out here? Yeah. I thought as much. No major complications to speak of inside either. There. And the water ether appears to be venting properly? I expect Kodo will have seen a difference in his forge flames by the time I return. Since I have you, there was another I thought to discuss with you. Nothing terribly important, merely something I've been considering. Part of this I shared with everyone, yet you, only you, have been to, you and only you, have been to Outpost. Yeah. As we established, fine animite is a product of Alag, of the Empire's twilight years, in fact. It was a material which saw much use as part of the Alican's efforts to extend beyond the bounds of this world, Dalamod, of course, being the most prominent. Those who would push further, expand Alag's empire to encompass the heavens and the stars above. Perhaps the greatest was its infamous technologist, Amon. Amon. Actually, I thought Amon wanted to destroy everything. He did. He must have had his own reasons, however, for there is no evidence to suggest that he retained memories of his life as an ancient. He only joined the Ascians once the Empire was all but dust. If that is memories, though, what drove him to pursue the idea with such fervor? They seem far-fetched, but what if souls like minds have a personality, so to speak, a natural disposition towards which they are inclined? Well, we know which relative certainly that it was the gross decadence, inexorable decline of Ally that moved Amon to resurrect Emperor Zaldan. The Empire's people spoke lightly of death and destruction, experimenting on those they deemed beneath them to fill the emptiness in their hearts. In facilitating Zaldan's return, Amon provided those languished souls with the means to free themselves from the mire of their own indolence. Or would have, had not Zaldan been convinced by his own death that life itself was meaningless. Amon's desire for his countrymen to conquer the heavens could only be the means to the same end, to fill the people with a new purpose. Like Hermes before him, Amon was appalled by how those around him lived, but never could bring himself to believe that those lives were devoid of meaning. And both of them sought that meaning, that hope in the distant stars. Such is my theory, anyway. Ultimately, it is the consequences of their actions which matter. Their motives are of no moment. And yet, to reach those stars on wings of adamantite, to travel to the ends of creation and beyond, the promise of hope everlasting. That much I do understand. But enough music for now. Why don't we see how cool it's getting on? Now I'm even more confused. I'm starting to... Nah. Mm-hmm. What does this mean? Isn't it? I'm distracted again. Oh, I can feel those flames ablazing from here. Glad you found someone capable, Raha. But there's not much left for you lot to do. Unless you can conjure up that refined animite any faster. It's getting here, buddy. Bonds of animatite. I do trust you to deliver on your promise. I do, only. I hate waiting. I want the animatite. I want it now. I share your impatience, I assure you. Is there truly nothing else we could assist with in the meantime? I wish. This sitting about's unbearable. Pity the forum frowns on recreational explosions. Well, so long as they can't prove it was premeditated. Get you gone, I have mistakes to make. In that case, I suppose I should go and return the key to the reactor. I'll have one more look to make sure that nothing has gone wrong, unintentionally or otherwise. I'm certain there are better uses of your time, however. I will join you in Charlie and Hamlet. If you wait here, your companions are bound to turn up sooner or later. Oh, I'm waiting and waiting.
All set, I take it?
Yeah.
We finished what we could, delivered supplies, tracked down escaped animals, trivial tasks as they may be.
That's enough, don't you think? If there was anything more important still undone, that would be a problem in itself.
Only so much we could do.
The vessel is essentially ready for departure. All that remains is to load the final batch of supplies and see everyone on board. Once we've readied the ether burner, that is.
I'm sure they're trying their best to find it.
Had a feeling we might find you all here.
Our consultations with the Loperates, too, have run their course. Pleased I am to say that our researchers' concerns have for the most part been allayed, though some insist on making adjustments to the very end. For their part, Livingway and her peers have graciously offered to stay and keep the people company, lest any lingering queries go unanswered.
All that remains is to wait for the refined adamantite.
Alphino, are you there? It's me, Kryl. Your special delivery has arrived. Round up everyone and come to the harbor at once.
It's here!
Speak of the devil. Let us go at once.
It's here! The package! I don't know what package, where the package is here.
Forgive the intrusion, Master Fortuner. I bring urgent news.
Huh?
A great commotion has broken out in Scholar's Harbor. Your presence is requested with all speed.
It must be. Woo!
Now, where might this delivery be?
What the? Why is there so many people?
Oh.
Oh no! That's a little much! And there's still more coming.
I'm sure it's very important, but we cannot accept these without the proper permits.
By the 12! Surely, these can't all be.
It is. It's adamantite! We have adamantite! Must hurt! You're anti-Manamite! Jesus.
Bleeding hellfire! They're bringing them by sea and by air. All these folks in these crates.
Oh.
And more on the way. Got your adamantite right here. A bigger haul than any of these sorry bastards brought, and that's no lie.
Yes, because you were charged with seeing the shipments from Gridania and Uldar here, along with your own. Give credit where credit is due.
Yo.
Sounds like the sorry whinging of a sore loser. And a hypocrite to boot. Ain't no way a scrawny whelp like you took a dozen steps inside a Dalamon shard.
I'll have you know I went all the way to the entrance. And furthermore, it was my contacts that enabled us to enlist the cooperation of the Sky Pirates.
Left you outside so you wouldn't get anyone killed, did they? Well then, credit where credit's due, you did a right fine job sitting on your ass.
Take that back.
Make me.
I will not stoop to your level.
My, what a grand welcome party.
Hancock and Saraban.
We come bearing relics both sacred and elegant, as well as a few other gifts that may be of help, to be presented with best wishes from the Eastern Alliance. Our friends in Bosnia, for instance, have sent along a few artifacts for the brave allies of the Resistance. That's you.
Yep.
And we brought a number of items from Eureka as well, courtesy of one Ejika Sunjika. He says a little advance warning would have been appreciated by the by.
This is what they meant by doing, like, make sure you do your side quests and do Eureka and Omega and such. It's all connected to this, to the story.
I myself have come.
They'll acknowledge that you did these things.
Temple. 'Twas passing fortunate that Senri's dango craving brought us to Kugane. We arrived precisely as Hancock was making his arrangements. Upon learning of your need, we made haste back to Hell's Lid, with our dango, never fear, and consulted with the other auspices. All consented to the lending of Tenzin's legendary Phoenix Blade for this noble cause. Suzaku and Seiryu were nevertheless worried that it might be lost in transit, however, and insisted upon accompanying me to Onokoro, where I had intended to entrust it to our Confederate allies. I thought instead to give it over to Hancock when we chanced to cross paths yet again. But alas, Seiryu remained ill at ease, and ordered me see the blade into your hands personally, or die trying.
I wonder, depending on how much you've done to the game before Endwalker, like stories and side quests and stuff, if it accumulates this moment, like the more you done, the more Anti-Antimite in the end you'll have, because we've got a lot.
Of course, need quite the impressive vessel to get it all here in time.
Is that the Prima Vista?
Fortunately, our majestic associates have been more than helpful. It is an honor to join the Warrior of Light on another adventure, they tell me.
Yep. That would be the Zodiac Brave story. It's all
wonderful to hear, but what of the extraordinary cost? I shudder to think of the ransom we must pay for such a bounty.
Oh.
Fret not for your coin purse, young Alphino. Lord Lolarito looks ever towards the profits of the future, and thus the East Aldenard Trading Company went to some lengths to reduce the financial liability. And since the Scions funded the entire venture, not a gill need be rendered up in compensation. Everything is already yours.
We funded the venture. When?
Don't let the name fool you. This coin keeper knows a thing or two about spending.
The master of it all.
When it comes to capital investiture, a sprinkling of gil here and there will not do. You need enough savings to make waves when it really counts, which is why frugality is paramount. We also have the benefit of a generous patron. Generous being rather an understatement. She has supported us from the shadows since the very founding of the Scions. We even had coffers to fill.
Oh!
Mother!
Yep.
I remain, of course, an entirely neutral party. I simply thought our family's coffers were needlessly full. We can hardly take them with us on your teeny-tiny toy boat,
now can we?
And 'twould be a shame to leave all that hard-earned wealth unspent.
So in other words...
Waste not.
What about... Okay.
However did you manage so much in so short a time then? We expected word to reach only a fraction of our allies.
Did I not tell you I have my
Our
ways?
ways. It's all coming together. Hey!
Erenville, you were involved too.
I received a letter from Cryo after we parted ways in Labyrinthos. She explained what the Scions were trying to accomplish, and why you might soon require the services of the Gleaners, spread across the world as we are. I pray you do not interpret this as a betrayal of Charlotte. I accept that the Forum's aim in pushing us to our limits was to preserve what knowledge we have, and I bear you no ill will for it. Yet, in collecting that knowledge, what I came to appreciate most about our star is that there remains so much we do not know. That is why I chose to help the Scions, to combat the obliteration of those countless undiscovered wonders. I held no illusions that they would be less demanding taskmasters, though, rest assured, if I had, I would have been sorely disappointed. To make a long story short, the whole of the guild ship cooperated to ensure your call was heard far and wide.
Hey! Hey, look out for the winger here!
What's this about a ship that can
They
fly,
can fly
to
to the moon. I was wondering when you guys were going to show up.
And why didn't you mention it sooner? The one time you don't beg my aid, your problem's a bloody ship that can fly to the moon.
To the moon?
See it. You brought the team.
Oh, I did.
Of course. Garland Ironworks' finest. You need only point us towards my new favorite ship. Oh, I nearly forgot. We stopped by Whirlit before coming here and picked up a package from Gaius.
Huh?
He's still of the mind that actions make for better penance than words, contrite or otherwise. So we offer none of the latter.
Okay.
What he sent is an Allegan relic Valens used in his weapons experiments. Has a fair bit of refined adamantite in it too.
As you like us not suspect, we've also brought adamantite for Mordona's Dalamud shard.
Hmm. What doors? Ah.
I admit to some consternation upon first receiving Kryle's message. So few scions remain at the Rising Stones now. Far too few for such an expedition.
Ah.
However, the Gleaners were able to secure us reinforcements. Idleshires, treasure hunters, not least among them. I know. How the Gobbyfrot fought. Slowfix's gratitude for the safe return of his daughter has not waned, and he gathered his kin to our side with an astounding quickness.
Everything
The clash between their machina and the Allagan defences was a sight to behold. I wager even you would have been impressed by the magnitude of the Gobby booms.
Everything you've done, you do from the beginning of the game, from the base game in every expansion, leads to everything happening in Endwalker. Everything.
Fascinating as all this is, I fail to see how it explains your presence here. Does Razat-Han not have more pressing concerns?
The Eye.
We do. Yet averting the final days would be the most expedient solution. That, and I am indebted to you. Though they chose to take their leave of Thavnair, those you saved in Galimund remain my people. My gratitude is beyond words. 'Tis appropriate that I aid you in kind. If in the doing we bring salvation to others of this star, so much the better. You will recall that I spoke of my father, Midgard Summer, and his journey across the great expanse. As he traveled betwixt the stars, his resplendent scales drank of the ether in those nigh empty surrounds, and imparted to him the strength to persevere. Thinking they might further your cause, I called out to my kin for consent. Ashdaya's answer was silence, as ever. Tiamat and Chris-Velgre, however, responded favorably to the suggestion.
Tiamat?
My sire, too, stirred from his slumber long enough to speak and say, "Very well." Thus have I brought you his own worm scales. Fit them to your purpose, and seek a worthier fate for us all.
You'd be hard-pressed to find someone else so familiar with the unique properties of dragon scales. So I invited myself along.
This is how it should be. The whole world working together.
This is so unbelievable, I've gone right back round to believing it again.
Forget a 6% gain in efficiency. With all these goodies, we could get 7, no? 10, no? 14 bleeding percent.
14.
Think of how far we could go! What we could do with that much power! What we could blow up!
Oh my god! He was obsessed with
If
explosions.
Kokol is duly convinced, then it must be true. In which case, the Scion's end of the bargain has been fulfilled. Would you not agree?
This is insane. He doesn't like being wrong.
Yes, Father?
I would have been like, is this the part where you're going to be like, no?
I know not what you seek of Hydaelyn, nor for what purpose you would take command of our ship. Yet this much is certain. To do so will be to dictate the fate of this star and the lives upon it. The lives of each and every creature, in their magnitude and their fragility. Do you understand? And are you prepared?
We have seen and we have felt how much each life shapes this world. And so we are determined to abandon none. We understand what is at stake, and we are prepared to bear this burden.
Then I will bear it with you. I beg you, share your struggles with me. As family.
So you can handle it?
You grasped my fingers with such tiny hands the day you were born. I thought my heart might burst. It was love and happiness beyond expression. Overwhelming. And a conviction so powerful that I trembled with something close to rage. I had heard the final days foretold. I swore to myself then and there that I would not let them steal your futures. The great exodus would succeed, must succeed. No sacrifice or sin was worse than the alternative. If anything gave me pause, it was mine own father. The Archon Louisoix openly decried Charlian's policies, a perspective which I regarded with increasing disdain as I grew older. Yet even as part of me thought him a fool. Perhaps I also hoped that he, of all people, would devise a brilliant means to save my children. A naive hope, but stubborn enough that I could never bring myself to keep you apart. No, that was his doing, when he perished at Cartano.
Mm-hmm.
As we pulled that twisted slab of Dalamud from the sea, I remembered the warmth of your newborn touch. Chastened, I vowed never again to suffer any interference in my mission to protect you. No matter that you yourselves wished otherwise. Detest me, fight me tooth and nail, I would suffer it, and more, and be satisfied so long as I could force you onto the ship. I was wrong. You two have grown so much stronger and so much wiser than I dared dream. You have earned the right to walk your own path, and already begun to do so.
Good. Because there are things we care about, and people we love, and none of them is replaceable. Not a one.
It cannot have been an easy journey for you to have come so far.
All we wanted for them.
We shall be glad to acquaint you with the finer details someday, once this danger has passed. All that we have seen and heard, that we have felt and learned in our travels. Ours is not a kind world, but it is beautiful. Always.
Oh no. Are you quite sure that's wise? After all, someone turns pale and flees the room when he sees so much as an envelope containing word of your adventures. Whatever will happen if he learns what you were really up to?
Amelians.
Where's him in front of everybody? Now I like him. Because I understand why he did it all. And acting like you do.
I owe you an apology as well. I assumed that it was the Scion's influence that made them so keen to charge headlong into danger.
Actually, we kind of didn't want them to do that a lot of times.
In particular.
We kind of tried to stop them from doing that, but they just kept doing it themselves.
I see now that said influence instead brought them together with the many fine people gathered here today.
You know,
In which case,
if the people of the First could come, they'd be here as well.
If we've finished loitering about the harbor, might I suggest we put our plans into motion? People are beginning to look confused.
Perhaps you can spare a few words ere they resume the tedious lugging of cargo. You have no small number of friends and admirers here after all.
One. Oh, this is the one that will determine.
Your assistance is appreciated. Now, in an orderly fashion, if you please.
Look at that. Even Al. I love the fact that Alpha and Omega are here. This is how you tell a story. This is how. Yeah, I'm talking about you, WoW. I'm talking about you, World of Warcraft. I'm calling you out. This is how you tell a story. I have heard about World of Warcraft storylines and stuff, and it's just like I tried watching a video about the lore, and I got so bored and uninterested by it. But when I played Final Fantasy XIV, I feel compelled to keep going because it's just, I know it's gonna get better, and it does. And and when it just, every scene, big scene is just, it just knocks the last one out of the park, like, it just knocks it out of the park compared to the last scene on top of each other. It just builds to greatness. We finally managed to clear the harbor, which means the rest is in the engineer's capable hands. And while Father has issued to us an invitation, as we agreed, he will reveal the means by which Heidelin may be contacted. We are to meet him at Arno when we are ready. Given the vital knowledge he holds, I suggest we leave without delay. It transpires, however, that the forum's method for speaking with her is not without risk. I'm curious to hear what those might they tell. But regardless, be warned. Most of those who arrived with the enemy have offered to stay and see to any remaining tasks that need doing. The Forum has already asked for my assistance in overseeing the process, so you needn't worry about a thing. Thank you, Tataru. We're off to Terminal now. What are these? Sandwiches and pretzels. Lalafell philanthropy. Huh. Oh, we have to go all the way over there. Huh, so apparently sandwiches. We'll do them in a moment because I have a feeling we're about to unlock a dungeon. No, I have already shown the others inside. You will want to speak with her, and she has the key to the lift. It send you down after me. Oh! We're going down. You're with Master Fosa, yes? Just step inside the lift here. And ding. From here, we proceed to the heart of Larieptos and the most closely guarded seeker, Hazarman's, to march the beginning and the end of our efforts. Hence, we delved to seek audience with the star, and whence we will embark on our journey to the heavens. This way, if you please. Hazarman's, huh? Ah. Oh, I was hoping to do a crazy spinny door thing, you know. Whoa. Is this the ship? Oh my god. Sorry, did you rip off the ends, the which we call it? N7? The ship from, Mass Effect 1, 2, or 3? Did you walk with the Ramazan? Direct your attention towards its center to behold the arc over which long labored. Oh wow. As you can see, it is designed as a medium-sized craft, the better to reduce fuel consumption. Miniaturizing magics have been applied to its interior to ensure that the thrust to weight does not place too great a limitation on its fueling. Yep, the ether burner, as you know, has been removed for further modification, but we shall attach it soon enough. I have received word from Kukal, and several of your allies are working on it with an intense fever. They are sure to see it done. 'Twas by this expertise, by their expertise, that many a prior disaster was averted. If anything, I fear they will not afford us much time speaking with Heidelin after they finish. Point taken. Let us move on. I must warn you again, however, that even with the benefit of our device, to treat with her is not a simple feat. Probably have to run through the Ethioseal itself. I have done what I can to impose upon you the gravity of what lies ahead. Are you prepared? Library authority secure and complete. Okay. Her children. One and all. Oh! We're at quest level 89.